Hello and welcome to We Love to Hate Everything. I'm Jody.
And I'm Amanda.
And we're back.
Wow.
After a nice vacation week.
Yep. We both
How was your week?
It was, well, I got heat stroke. So, of course, because I did. Because I didn't wear sunscreen, Amanda.
So it was like sunburn, sunstroke?
Like, yeah, it was bad. And then I had an actual doctor's appointment, Jody. I was thinking the whole time, I'm
so
like,
proud
Jody's
of
going to
you.
be so proud. I got a mole check, got a breast exam, not a mammogram, though, because in Canada, you don't have to get it until you're 50. 50 in Canada.
50?
50.
God, you guys have it so good there. You can't get cancer until you're 50 in Canada. Who knew? Jeez.
Yeah,
Wow.
but anyway, you know, it was fun. I mean, I went out to my family's ghetto-ass lake house, and we hung out with my aunt.
Okay, who's
landlord.
bougie now? And let me guess, you went through the front door of your family's lake house, didn't you?
Yeah, well, because there's no there's no garage. It's like a trailer, basically. It was built by hand by my whole family.
Oh,
like,
your
when they were
bougie
kids.
family built their house by hand on a lake.
Yeah, I mean, it is right on the lake, though.
Just right on the water.
Me and my aunt got in this rowboat, and we went out into like the middle of the lake for like 2 hours, and with the dogs. And
are you crazy? That sounds
wrong with
like
that?
hell. That's a nightmare to me. Open water with animals in a boat.
It was just Walter and her
relaxing at
dog.
all.
They were just chilling. I threw Walter in the water. He did not like it.
Gee, I wonder why.
He likes to swim usually, though.
And not in the middle of a lake.
I mean,
That's
he had his
deep.
leash on, and then I
Oh
pulled
my
him back
god,
in.
this is horrible.
I held him by the leash.
That
He
sounds
loves
like
swimming. I
even
thought he'd
worse
like it.
drowning. Okay.
But listen, if I said this to Nick on, I think, Squirrel Friends or something, but if there had been a video of me trying to get in and out of this fucking rowboat, like, I would end it all. If anyone could witness this. It was just insane. And, like, plus I only had my Adidas slides and broken ankle. And just, like, imagine me getting in and out of a rowboat. Imagine anyone getting in and out
What's
of a
the
rowboat.
TikTok song it would be set to? I wanna go home.
I don't even know that one.
Oh,
one's
yes,
gonna
you
know.
did. You've heard it.
Nobody's gonna know. No one's gonna know. I don't know.
Oh, hey, speaking of nobody needs to know, you big Hamilton news.
Oh my god. See, you had kind of a shitty week, and probably wasn't the best time for me to play a hilarious prank where I just sent to the group text, "Oh, this show sucks. I asked for my money back. It's just not a great show." Nick
just not that good.
Nick said he believed me 100%.
I did too.
You did?
Yeah, when you're like, I mean, it's just not that good. Because this whole time
Jody
you've been
wasn't
thinking,
responding to these jokes.
I'm like this crazy, I'm such a basic loser that I thought Hamilton was good. You're like, okay, I saw on Disney Plus, not that good.
Well, first of all, Daphne, I got this for her and Ron for Christmas. It was like $1,000 for 3 tickets or something like
Whose
that.
idea was that? That was a really good idea.
Jody gave me the idea because she
Okay.
like follows Hamilton all the time. Like,
I will say this here, you guys. Download the Hamilton app. And will you agree with me now that that is like the best idea ever, even though you didn't do this?
When you
download
messaged
the
me
app.
that, I was like, why would I try to get rush seats? I already have tickets. But now I'm like, fuck, I should have. I wanted to
Yes.
see it. I want to see it again and again and again.
Thank you. So yeah, download the app and you can, like, whatever city that they are in, obviously they're on Broadway or whatever, but even the touring cities, you can go on for free. You can enter the lottery for 1 or 2 tickets, and you do have to be the one to pick them up. So it's not like you can put in entries for someone else and then be like, hey, I got you 2 tickets in New York. But I won the lottery twice in Chicago. And it's normally like a couple days ahead of time, so you'll know like 2 or 3 days before the show.
Tickets, like $50 or something like that.
Nothing. Free.
Oh, they're free?
Free. Some cities, I think you might have to pay like a $13 weird
Surcharge.
tax or something. But it's not a discount. Free lottery, free tickets. And it's not just like the seats that weren't sold. Like when
They're,
Paige
like,
and I
good
won the
seats.
lottery the first time. Yeah, they were
Like the
second row
rent lottery
seats.
kind of, yeah.
Right there in front of the stage. So they kind of set some aside. The ones that I won with Charlie were still good seats, but they weren't as good as, I mean, second row when they're like sweating on you and like the dancers are right in your face and you want to
Yeah.
fly vagina first towards Aaron Burr on stage. It's like, oh, it was incredible.
God,
Anyway,
Aaron Burr.
go on there, enter the lottery, and you have like a good chance of entering it. And you get little alerts every day, like, hey, do you want to enter? And then
Yeah.
you just click.
Jody,
click
I
it.
think,
Anyway.
has her own like calendar at her house that was a countdown to me going to this thing.
Well, I remembered because it was also the day where your aunt met the deadline for finishing painting your house.
we're on a hiatus right now, so technically no
okay.
one's really won. Yeah.
So, by the way, you owe me a mug. That's what it was.
Oh, is
that
that-
was a mug.
like any mug.
Because we were into like, well, I always am, like a fun, cute, funny mug. You don't
a
really
mug.
have to follow through on it, but
I probably will. Probably get drunk one night and just like send it at 3 a.m. But I bought these tickets for, to thank my mom and Ron for, nursing me back to health after I broke my ankle. And it was also Ron's birthday randomly on Sunday. But my mom has this cough and I felt so bad for her because the whole time she was wearing a mask and she was just like chomping on cough drops the whole time because you could tell that she was so stressed out about coughing. And how that is. And I
it's just
felt
like rumbling.
So bad
You
for
could
her.
You can just kind of hear that.
And you could tell she was kind of trying to find the times where it's going to get loud. And that happened to me when my mom came and visited me in New York. We went and saw Sunset Boulevard with Glenn Close, and it was the same thing. And like I felt so bad because I was coughing the whole time, and you're trying so hard not to cough, and then you have to cough even worse. But that said, we sit down, amazing seats, totally worth the money.
Yeah.
And the second the show started and just like the da 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 da, I was just like, I just started crying. I had no makeup on by the end of the show.
I'm so
And
happy.
It was just so. And then that night, Sunday, I came home and I watched Hamilton on Disney Plus.
Sure.
And it is such a different experience watching it just live. Like
Absolutely.
it was a completely different, transcendent
Totally.
experience.
You have to see the I don't know, what do you call it, scenery, backdrop, the set.
The lighting was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
just like everything. And my mom said her favorite part was the choreography, Amanda.
Thank
And
you.
The choreography is
Didn't
really
I tell
cool.
you? I mean, the choreography is unreal. But I said this before, and I'm sure this is with any show, but like you have to feel the orchestra and the choreography when they stomp, you feel it. And it's just like everything together is
Same way in Come From Away when they stomp. A lot of stomping in Come From Away.
God.
but
Woof.
you know what? I did want to say this. Back before I retired from theater forever, there's always this phrase that directors say to you, like there's always at least one person in the audience watching you, even if you're just like sitting off to the side. And I mean, this is me, so like I'm just. If the spotlight isn't completely on me and I'm singing the whole song, I'm checked out completely. I'm fucking around. I'm like chewing on my nails, just whatever. So
Yeah.
But like there were people, how they have people sit on stage the entire time, just in every scene, because history has its eyes on y'all. I would be watching people just in the darkness, like that were just sitting not unlit, and I was like just fascinated by every person. And I was like, oh, I guess that is true. Someone's always looking at you. Probably should have taken it more seriously. Aaron Burr was so good. He was maybe one of the best male performances I've ever seen live in my life. And he was... The complaint my mom and Ron had mostly was just like, the words happen so fast, and she's like, I wish there had been like subtitles. But Aaron Burr, this guy, he could... Every word you could understand. You can understand every freaking word. The Lafayette Jefferson was the understudy, and I always love when the understudy... And he was so good.
When he comes in wearing the purple.
Oh my God. I said to my mom, like, you're going to like this song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then, and so many times she would go, I said this. We already talked about this? Yeah, we've already discussed
We
this.
texted a little bit, but we were trying to save it for you guys so you would get an authentic, but we went a little crazy.
Several times, like, the king would come out or Jefferson would come out, and the audience would just start screaming and applauding. And my mom would applaud along, and then she'd go, why is everyone applauding? What are we cheering for?
Cute.
I'm like, just everyone likes the character. Our King George was great. My mom loved. She responded
Oh, I'm
very
sure
highly.
that is so Daphne.
Such a basic white
Oh,
bitch.
look at him. Look at this guy.
Yeah, but the third time he came out, she goes, "Oh, here we go."
He's not going to be happy, Amanda.
What I mean, just the women's voice. I mean, the voices were
Oh
just
my
so
God.
stunning. The Peggy was really good. I was impressed with how funny she was. She really made it. I mean, it's such a thankless part, but she really did make it funny.
Well,
Like,
but
the
then
audience
she also gets to be
exactly.
Maria Reynolds. And I mean, that
Yeah.
song is so fucking hot.
That's not. Oh yeah,
Say
it
no
was
to this.
real hot.
Yeah.
She is also married to the Aaron Burr, so I kind of hate her.
Oh, okay.
But like cute. They have like a baby together.
Did Daphne? Oh, I mean, the audience every single time gets a big like when Hercules Mulligan, who becomes Madison.
Mm-hmm.
When they're like, and who did we help in the whatever war? And he's like, France.
Oh yeah. For some reason, they love
I
that.
feel like Daphne really liked that one.
What else?
What about Burn? Don't tell me.
I did enjoy Burn. I really,
you.
I truly do not like Dear Theodosia. I think it's so boring. Like
That's
I
my
was looking at my
favorites.
program the whole time.
Oh, I hate you. Okay, Hurricane, you can go. That's the only song where I'm like, I know it, means a lot, blah, blah, blah. That to me is if you need to use the washroom or cough really loud, that's the time to do it.
Several times, like after a number, my mom would go, "Wow," and then clap. Which I did too. I mean,
Dear Theodosia, maybe it's a parent thing. Because it's just like saying,
I didn't even realize it was about that.
Dear Theodosia.
That's the woman he's dating, I thought. The woman he's dating's name is Theodosia. He says that to him at his wedding.
Yeah. And he also says, you have your mother's name.
Oh, well,
it's about his daughter, and then Hamilton starts singing about his son.
I got it.
My son.
Okay,
I'm not going to sing it. I really want to, but I'm not going to. Anyway, okay, so you enjoyed Burn, Quiet Uptown. Were you full sob?
I cried the entire show just because I was so impressed with the team being in the room as
where it happened.
That was my favorite song.
The choreography gets me. Like, I want to go back to college and major in choreography, watching and listening to that.
So much spread eagle vagina shots from the women, like throughout the whole show, which is it's fine. It's impressive.
Yeah.
And then again, Aaron Burr was so good, but the Hamilton. See, I wonder. I know that you disagree with me on this because you said it slaps a little different when the guy playing Hamilton can really sing, and this guy was great, but I kind of like Lynn a little better. I don't know. There's something about it that I'm just like, well, he wrote this like for himself to sing, and there's something about his earnestness in the role that makes him so likable. I mean. And again, I'm not a Lin-Manuel head, but this guy did manage to portray that level of earnestness, but with an insane voice.
I want you to look up Miguel Cervantes. I know I'm gonna be like, oh, the Chicago cast, whatever. But of course, I mean, I did see them 4 times, twice when I won the lottery. So he is now on Broadway. A lot of our cast is now on Broadway. Our Peggy, our whatever. So when he sings it, like part of it was knowing, so when I saw him, I knew his daughter was still sick. His daughter was 4 years old and she ended up dying.
About that.
Yeah. And so just like Quiet Uptown and all these different songs is just like, oh my God, because he's singing from experience. Like he's gone through this stuff. And he does have a very sweet... He's got like a good voice, but it's not like you said, it's got that like earnest quality to it. Oh, it's so good. He's incredible in that role. Anyway, but I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Okay, what about the gasp? We just have to touch on the gasp.
Great.
I hate that.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I mean, it's hard to. I don't know.
Because every I was about to say Angelica. Every Eliza does the gasp different.
Yeah, and I think they all do it probably different every night, too. But my mom thought it was her seeing his ghost or something. But I like the idea of her seeing.
Well, she's dying. She's seeing him in heaven now. They're reconnected.
Well, but I've heard the theory that she's seeing the crowd of people in the theater.
Oh, right.
And it's like, oh, like
you're acknowledging
this is a show.
me, my part, sort of a thing.
I'm gonna start crying if we keep talking about this.
I know.
It was.
Or how about
so
Angelica? She's buried in Trinity Church near you. Oh God, goosebumps.
Yeah, the Angelica was so. I mean, my mom's favorite song I think was "Helpless." It's been in my head for like 3 days, and I'm fine with that.
That dong, that dong, Freudian slip. I mean, I told you, Hamilton is what made me realize that I am super into black guys. Like, black guys are the hottest men on earth.
Oh God, you would be in love with our Aaron Burr. He was so fucking good. But it was
what was I going
there was
to say?
nothing.
Oh, that song "Helpless." That song slaps. And when I interviewed Ebrin Stanley, who came on my pod, and on our Patreon, I have like a Patreon episode that we did after that. He helped me recap, what was it, Love After Lockup. It was really funny. But he said that is the song that when he's, backstage changing or whatever, like, he still, like, gets into that song every single night.
Oh, God, it's so good.
Yeah, he's like, it's such an awesome song.
I looked up the lyrics the other day and, like, sung the whole thing in my house. Quietly, though, because my neighbors don't like when I sing. Didn't get any taps, and then he knocks on the wall.
That was my wife, you decided to fuck.
That's a great line, too. No, it was.
This is the Hamilton episode. Sorry, guys.
Actually, I just looked, and we've only been talking for 15 minutes about this.
Not nearly enough, honestly.
I would have honestly thought it was like 30 minutes. But yeah, everyone see Hamilton if you can. It's completely different seeing it on stage.
Totally
it was so
different.
Impressive. The lighting was amazing. The sound design was incredible. The King George part is just the true, like, that is the perfect part for me if I was to get back into theater. Because it's on stage for less than 15 minutes total.
Yeah. Oh, and then if that.
And then you sit backstage the whole time, the rest of it. And every time you're on stage, the audience is fucking
people love you.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, you could fuck up. You could fall in your face. Yeah. And you'd be like, this is the best. It's not the best.
Yeah, and our guy, he was so good. He was born in Puerto Rico, I think, and he's been touring with it for like years and years, but he was hilarious. Oh, my mom's favorite part, she said, was when he says, "I'm so blue," and then he stomps his foot and the stage turns blue. Oh, did she respond to that?
So clever. That's so clever, Amanda.
Anyway.
She was like, Ron, do you see that? It turned blue because he said blue.
Well, there'd be times where she would lean over to me and be like, "Well, who's that?" And I tell her, like, Lafayette. And then
you're like, it's Abraham Lincoln, obviously. Shh, quiet.
But she would lean over to Ron, and Ron already knew because Ron is like a history buff. So I mean, they both loved it. Yeah.
So it's good. Well, hey, speaking of theater, I was on vacation in one of your hometowns where you are a star, Fort Myers. Yeah, I was actually in Cape Coral.
Just across the bridge.
This is like a big area. Yes, but we didn't go across the... I think your theater was more... Yeah, it was like more north. So we didn't really get to that area.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you didn't visit the theater?
No, it was a little out of the way. It would have been like 20 minutes out of the way.
You didn't get to do the Luann de Lesseps
I was going to.
I know, that would have been
really too, but I mean, you have two cranky tweens and it's like a ticking time bomb. It's worse than toddlers at some points because they can speak and have actual arguments where you're like, shut up. But we went
you had a super bougie ass Airbnb.
It wasn't bougie. It was a VRBO. Oh, listen, Cape Coral is super reasonable. And I kind of get why, because there's not really much going on there. It's like a very residential kind of area, I think. But it's like a 20-minute drive to Sanibel, which was beautiful.
Yeah,
beach.
Sanibel's awesome.
Oh, God, I loved it. Googie and I, we were swimming. We were jumping waves in that little ocean. Lost my sunglasses trying to get out. Because, you kind of like fall when you get near the, what do they call it, like the shore? Like where you're like stepping out and that when they can like take you back under and you just get stuck in that cycle. And I was tumbling and rolling around. I was wearing my navy tankini, and Charlie said I looked like a blueberry, just getting tossed around. Lost my favorite
Charlie.
sunglasses from Amazon, but it was worth it.
I had to drive the cast. It doesn't matter, probably 9 to 5 or something. But I decided to be the driver when we all went to Sanibel, the theater there. I think we were
Sanibel.
Sanibel.
How I said it the entire time, and no one appreciates it. That's like Cody Brown. When he works out, he listens to Pachelbel. That's how he says it.
Canon and D, because then he forgets halfway through. He's like, oh, wait, there's more. But I had to drive, and there was like a huge storm happening, and I had to drive in like pitch black on the way home, like across the bridge. And
God.
It was just pure silence in the car, and I was fucking freaking
Yeah,
out.
I don't like bridges, so.
Me neither. I get
just
so nervous on
clenched butt
bridges.
cheeks the entire way. Yeah, I don't like bridges. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was being like way longer, but they have, what do they call them? Causeways. There's like 2 little causeways. Yeah. A big joke, now a running joke in the family is I just say, that was my nickname in college, and Googie fucking loves it.
What?
Like anything that comes up where it was like, oh, yeah, look at the big causeway. I'm like, that was my nickname in college.
Oh, God.
Big
That's funny.
causeway. Just like
I like that.
everything.
It's a good bit.
Is, yeah, and your mom. He gets a real kick out of that one. He's like, God, this sucks. I'm like, your mom sucks. And he's like, but you're saying you suck. I guess you had to be there. It's real funny.
Fun.
Yeah,
kind of.
except for. Okay, so anyway, I would highly suggest like staying in Cape Coral if you like just like a little day trip to the beach. But we found it was super reasonable. It was cheaper than any hotel. You just got to dig for them.
Did you go to Publix and get the fried chicken?
Went to Publix, didn't get fried chicken or a sandwich. I got some.
What's
I got
wrong with you?
boar's head turkey though. Lunch meat in Florida is double the price of it here. It was like almost $13 a pound.
Well,
That's crazy. Anyway, okay, so first of all, Charlie had what I thought was a sinus infection. Then I called Teladoc and they said like, no, it's allergies. Then he woke up and half his face was completely swollen. Like his face was deformed. So we had to bring him to urgent care. It was like a whole big thing. Then one of the nights when we were driving back, thank God, we're pulling into the hotel and Paige just sat up and goes, I need to throw up, blah, all over the car. Disgusting.
Oh, so the rental
that was
car?
Fun. Yeah, but
did you take your own
luckily,
car?
no, we used Dave's points to use a rental car. It was like a big old, this thing was like ginormous Suburban. It was awesome.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, no, luckily she had like her blankets and stuff on her and she just like, whoa, it was like all on her stuff. So we just threw the blankets away. And then she's crying because it had sentimental value. And I'm like, oh God, I can't deal with this at 11 o'clock at night. Anyway, okay, so this is maybe our 3rd night in this place. And those of you who have pools at your house, so this house had its own little pool, which like most houses there do. It's not that bougie. And it's on like one of the little canals. So it was just like a nice little scenic-y house. Had a very chic wind chime. And 3 o'clock in the morning, I had maybe fallen asleep an hour before because like you, I suffer from intermittent insomnia here and there. And houses that have pools in Florida, or maybe this is just everywhere, they have to have alarms in the house that like you have to hit the button before you can open any of the exterior doors to the pool. Okay. And that if you don't, like a ear piercing, think smoke alarm, but like times 3,
right?
Like as loud and as long. Okay, there's 3 of those doors in this house. And 3 o'clock in the morning, I just hear screaming, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like I like run up and I just press the button to stop it, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And I'm thinking, did a door happen to open? Is someone like breaking in? What the hell's going on? No. Okay, so long story short, we go around to all the doors. It's still beeping every 20 seconds. Exactly every 20 seconds, this thing will screech all over the house. 3 o'clock in the morning. Neighbors all around. 3 of the alarms. So one in the main part of the house, one by the kids' rooms, one in our room. So
Of
we're
course,
like,
you're the
what is
one
going
dealing
on?
with this, not Dave.
Well, okay, Dave gets up and we're like, what's going on? We're checking. We're like, maybe something's not lined up. Maybe something came off alignment. We're looking all over the place. Like, what the hell? Is there a plug for this? Again, every 20 seconds. So one of us has to stay by the alarm and press it every 20 seconds while
like
the other
Lost.
one's looking. Yeah. Thank you. This was a psychological experiment. Okay.
Yeah.
So finally, I'm like, what? Like a half hour after us looking, trying to problem solve, I'm like, this is ridiculous. We got to call the management company. Call management, of course, no one picks up. Dave sees some other number and he's like, well, I'll just text it. Maybe it's like a cell phone. Okay, so it is a text. So this management company, Churchill Properties in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, the guy's name is Neil Hasty or something. Such a fucking dick.
Are you doxing him? Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely am.
Good.
So first he texts it, he's like, he goes, are you sure it's not the smoke alarm? We're like, the beeping is coming out of the door thing on the door. Yeah.
Right.
Like, we're not fucking stupid. So he goes through this whole thing. Oh, you just have to go in the garage. The thing that says exterior lights, don't unplug, just unplug that. Okay, cool. Do that. Nope, not that. And he's like, well, are you sure? So he keeps thinking like, we're fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's like, well, and finally he texts back, I don't know, I'm out of ideas. And I was fucking livid. Long story short, Amanda, first I fire off an email. Okay. This is now like 4:00 in the morning.
You Karen'd out.
I've CC. Oh yeah. And I think
You went
I
full
even,
care.
I think I even titled it to whoever is not the emergency contact. I mean, I can read you this letter. It is scathing. And I said, like, just as the person said, I'm out of ideas, well, I'm out of patience. Okay, from 3:00 in the morning until 8:30 a.m., every 20 seconds, so 3 times a minute for 5.5 hours,
Oh my God.
I sat next to this button and had to count to 20 and try to press it before it would sound the alarms for the
What was
entire
Dave
house.
doing? You get back to that.
Well, I took the shift from 3 to 7:30
Oh, so you got
because
a
then
hour.
I called Neil because I'm
Yeah.
thinking like, okay, now it's 7:30, and he was like, "This is Neil," in his accent, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just wondering, are you having anyone come out because I've been up since 3 a.m." He goes, "Well, I've just gotten up and I was just about to hop in the shower," and I want to be like, "Oh, you were. Oh, I'm so sorry."
Did you get your money back? Because I feel like this is you
Well,
should have
here's
gotten like
the
a
thing.
full refund on this.
Well, then he said he's sending someone
nightmare.
over. So then at that point, Dave's like, "Well, I'll take over." So Dave took the 8 to 8:27
Wow.
shift when the guy came. So this is what it ended up being. It was an old battery behind the wall on one of the things. Now, Neil did say, well, you could take off the switch plates. And Dave and I searched the garage high and low for any tools, and there were no tools to be had. We tried knives to unscrew the thing. Like, we didn't bring our tool chest with us. Sorry. How about you get your ass out of bed because you're being paid to do this? So he did call twice, and Dave and I both tried calling it back a couple times and never returned our calls and never got back to us. But I would like to see some sort of a refund. House was beautiful. This guy sucked. So the repair guy came and fixed it within like 2 minutes.
No, 100%. You should get some kind of.
5.5 hours.
Yeah, no, that really is
And I
psychological
had to
torture.
count. I had to count. So
Yeah.
I pulled up like a stool. I had pillows under my arm. Like my arm and my shoulder were sore the entire time.
Oh my God.
5. So I had to count, and like every once in a while I would start dozing off and I'd be like, no, I mean, I'm sorry, not every once in a while. Every 19 seconds for a couple hours, I would like start to doze, and you couldn't preemptively press it to
Right.
like. Otherwise,
You have
I
to
would
wait
have just
until
kept
it
pressing
started
it.
to go off.
Yes, or like at 19 seconds, press it.
Could you like tape it down so that it was constantly engaged?
No. If you actually, I have a video that I sent to Neil because he said, well, just press it and maybe it'll reset. No. So, okay, so now at 20 seconds, I press and hold it. And then if you held it for 20 seconds, then it would do one really long extended beep instead of,
my God.
yeah. Oh, and one of his suggestions was just to put a piece of tape over the speaker of it.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
that'll solve it.
Number one, don't have tape in this house because why would you? And second of all, tape isn't going to muffle the sounds of 3 screaming alarms. We tried to put up pillows over it, nothing. So it was a nightmare. And I was a complete bitch that day because I was very tired. Yeah.
Well, fuck you, Neil.
So I'm sorry, there's my story, but that truly, I was thinking about Lost. I'm like, I am pressing the button. This is like is it Pavlov's dog? Whatever. It was a psychological experiment and I lost. Like, that is worse than water torture. Because you can't rest.
It's something's cat. Schrodinger's cat?
Oh.
Schrodinger's equation? Something with a cat.
It was horrible. Horrible.
Schrodinger.
And we're fixity people.
Yeah.
Like, we can figure this shit out. We could not figure this out.
Oh my God.
It was horrible.
Well, is that why the next day you send a picture of just, you're like, I have a 1.5 of vodka and I'm just chilling by the pool now.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Because the kids,
Did you finish
the
that
kids
off?
and Dave are like, I think we need to like help her out with something. I think she needs to take the edge off. Oh, and I first day jumping in the pool, finally have enough guts to do it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be the cool mom, and I'm gonna like cannonball into this pool.
Yeah.
Here I come, guys. The moment that I stepped off the siding to jump in the pool, drag my big toe like right in the grout line, ripped off the corner of my big toe, bleeding all over.
Hey, you could have broken your ankle, so.
That's true. But it caused like some sort of ingrown toenail situation.
Yes,
I could feel my heartbeat in my toe for like a week straight because it hurts so bad. Anyway, but you guys, it was such a great vacation. I was able to relax.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Like, beginning to end, it was great.
Right. Oh, yeah. One for the books. Okay. So,
this is going to be kind of a flailing episode because we are going to recap 90 Day Fiance and Surviving Sister Wives, but it's all a blur because at this point it's been 2 episodes each.
Yeah. And I mean, 90 Day Fiance, you guys, that's 4 hours of television that we'd be trying to recap. It's
I'm not rewatching that. I watched it both Sundays at 3 a.m. the second it dropped, but I'm not rewatching those things, but it's just people trying on wedding dresses.
Ugh.
And Bilal's sister playing that cool prank.
Oh, this family. Such a, I mean, Impractical Jokers, move over. Bilal and family are coming in.
It's not funny. And then she gets mad at her afterwards. She's like, well, actually, it did have sentimental value.
Yeah.
So what did that's psychological warfare, too, that they're playing.
Absolutely. God, they're the worst. Okay, so should we just jump into it? Because Kara and Guillermo, I know there was a lot of talk about her look. What did you think of it?
I thought it was fine. I mean, I don't care about them at all. Everyone's saying that they're going to be the next Andre and Libby. And they'll probably be on Pillow Talk. Which, I feel like that's where they could go next, is just a Pillow Talk.
Sure.
Because they get along, whatever.
I like Guillermo. I thought he looked so handsome. And when he looked up and saw her, it was like, oh, he kind of did this like, this little nod. It was really sweet. I think she's beautiful, and she looked beautiful.
They both looked beautiful.
The hair isn't something like I would do. It was a little too curly on the one side, but she looks stunning. There's nothing really to say. They got married, yay. Now we know she's pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Shida and Bilal. This family sucks. I don't know why she's sticking this out.
Yeah, I'm kind of at the point where I'm mad. I'm annoyed with her now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, come on.
He's not even attempting to hide who he is. He's showing you exactly who he is.
God, his sister looks so much like him.
I know.
They both have the most punchable faces.
So smug and dead behind the eyes and self-righteous. Ugh.
And then he's getting all these congratulations from Shida at least, saying like, well, now he was so generous because now that I said I'd sign this, I'm like, men do not deserve the prizes that we give them for doing bare minimum.
Yeah. Oh, the one thing that he was like, I mean, I guess in 5 years we're gonna have a kid. I mean, it's fine.
Which is like
you know he's not going to follow through. He's going to divorce her before then.
It's an easy promise for him to make because he can just make it so that it's not going to happen.
Right. Yeah, he'll go to get a vasectomy.
Yeah, he can do that too.
I wouldn't be surprised if he already has one. He hasn't told her.
Yeah, he definitely does not want more kids.
No, not at all. And why don't have kids with someone who's like, I mean, I guess if you want one.
Yeah, like when I was trying to have a kid.
Well, I mean, like, he's not going to be real involved, and then you're going to be miserable because he never wanted it in the first place.
Yeah.
Not a good idea. God. I'm just kind of going through our boring couples here. Patrick and Thais. I'm over it.
Yeah,
I think
I
they'll
don't
be
think
fine
he's that
together.
Controlling at all.
No.
Sorry he planned a trip for you. Like, what else? What was the other option
baby.
here? Did you have a lot of plans here, Thais?
Yeah, you're going to go out with your 0 friends plus benefits, babe? No.
God.
I think they're fine. They're like an average couple.
Fine.
I know there's a lot of talk about the mom and the sister, though. The sister with the black eye.
Okay. I mean, come on now. Like,
wear some sunglasses. It's the bloody white part.
It's the blood.
For me.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but like I don't believe her because the way she said, I just fell.
I tripped and fell on the stairs. The owl did it. It was the owl. The owl.
It was the owl theory. I believe the owl theory more than I believe her. I don't even think that she was maybe in a domestic situation, but I feel like she maybe got in a bar fight or something.
Oh, or the mom punched her.
The mom sucks. And Justine said this. Sorry to dox you, Justine, but I mean, we agree with this. Justine's like, just because you have a terminal illness doesn't make you a good person. Like, you can still be a garbage person and be, on your way out. And she
looks like John Candy in
She looks like
Spaceballs.
barf.
She does look like barf. It's the makeup. She's using too light of a foundation, and then that pink eyeshadow. Woof. Patrick looks exactly like her, though.
I mean, he does. And it also just really, it sheds so much insight onto why Patrick and John are how they are.
Yeah.
This was rough. This was a rough watch.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she definitely fucked with their minds.
Yeah, she fucked them up. And she was fucking with Thais, too.
Yeah. She's going to stand for a green card. Oh, God. I mean, he seems like a good guy. I think he genuinely loves her. Thais is kind of annoying, but maybe she's playing it up for the show. Who knows this whole dad situation?
But then the sister's like, well, you know what? I feel like she's just here for Patrick, and she doesn't even want to be in this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, isn't that a good thing, though?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just
That's how much she loves him.
She wouldn't want to be here if she weren't dating Patrick. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's kind of the whole gist of it.
Because the whole thing with all of these Americans on the show, they cannot believe that not everyone in the entire universe wants to live in the States, the land of pure opportunity, where rights aren't being taken away every day.
Yeah, we all got it made here.
Especially as a woman.
So easy too. Yeah, just carefree.
Yeah,
land of the free.
Good Lord.
Okay, so that's pretty much it, right? I don't even think we saw.
We saw Eve
Rob,
and
cousin. And, brother, what's his name?
Oh yeah,
Thomas?
no, we didn't, and I miss him. I hope he's doing
John.
Okay. Chan.
Jabri and Miona.
Yeah. Sean, who was that? That was on
Lacey from
Lacey.
Love
I was going
After
to say
Lockup.
Daisy because she looks like Daisy from Rock of Love.
She does. Although Jean can really get it.
Oh,
not Sean. Sean. Okay, Jabri and Miona. His parents suck. They're horrible people.
Oh, yeah. They're terrible. And Grandma's good at least.
Jabri's pretty annoying too.
Yeah, I like Miona is one of the most likable characters on the show right now. Yeah.
Very on Fisa. This is May, right? I mean, like, this is her.
And Fisa's like a way more of a bitch, though, I think. And Fisa's way more unapologetic than Miona. I feel like Miona at least tries to present an air of being like, respectful of other people, possibly.
Right. Yeah, his parents sucked. Even saying goodbye to them on the porch, they're all like mopey, like, okay, well.
Well, maybe they were in their head, like, processing how much money these matching pink puffer jackets cost them.
Oh, yeah. And, like, what they could have paid us in rent and now they're just driving there. Well, whatever. I mean, they're grown-ups. They're going to get married. You can say congratulations later. Is it really that big of a deal anymore?
They're already married at time of filming anyway, so.
Are they really?
That is, yeah, you didn't know this?
Is that confirmed, though?
I'm pretty sure it is confirmed.
That they got married in Serbia? Or what?
I mean, I'm sure if anyone can find out, it's you, Jody.
I don't really care that much, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean...
Again, he's almost 30 years old.
Yeah.
This isn't like a 19, 20-year-old kid that's like, my parents are kicking me out. And Joshua Tree.
They just don't like Miona because the mom doesn't like Miona because she's prettier than her.
Well, and she's taking her baby boy away. And she can't manipulate Miona like she thought she would be able to.
Right.
All right, Eve and Mohammed. Wow. Okay, are you seeing all this shit on Reddit about Mohammed?
Yes! Uh-huh.
That's what we need to talk about. Okay, so here.
Oh, great.
He proposes again for the third time, which is so weird.
With a slightly better ring. And
this is very vow renewal. It's the kiss of death. If you have to show it 3 times, something's going on. And something was going on.
How presentational she was about it as well. Just like, oh my God. I'm like, you're 40.
And also, he's going to do something because he's like, let's go outside and we look at lights and fire pit. And she's like, oh, it's so pretty. It's a patio. Yay. And then he gets down a knee again. Why?
I just remembered that I had a full, nightmare dream about, who is it? Jasmine and, the guy.
Gino.
First guest. Jasmine and Gino. I, had a full dream about them last night.
Oh. Were you
scares me.
Gonna be a throuple with them or something?
I don't really remember, but I definitely, watched them, have sex.
Gross.
Yeah, it was not great.
Swallowing water just at that time.
Yeah, I don't know where my mind was going with that, but
oof.
But yeah, remember he does the same thing. He just gets down and he faces the ring the wrong way.
Remember when he was dancing? And he was just
I'll
stimming
never forget
out
when he was dancing.
He was so excited.
And she says, "You look like you have a stick up your ass."
Yeah, and he's just flapping. He was so excited about life at that point.
But yeah, here's another example though of people giving too much credit for men for doing the bare minimum by him just saying, "Yes, okay, babe. No, you do your religion, I do my religion. Okay." Mm-hmm. And people are like, wow.
Yeah,
this guy.
What a guy. What a
turnaround.
Okay, let's talk about the wedding, and then we'll talk about what's been circling on Reddit here. First of all, she looked gorgeous. That dress was beautiful on her. I thought it was actually really sweet that Theron just wore his t-shirt when he was comfortable in and walked her down.
And the fact that she wasn't annoyed with it either. She was like, okay, fine. Yeah.
Of course.
Because I feel like a lot of really bitch moms would just be like, too bad you're wearing the suit.
Yeah.
It was cute.
It was so sweet. And oh God, but then fucking Mohammed and his stupid hair was extra high.
Oh yeah, it was a pompadour.
Oh, when he was talking to his mom and his grandma, did you catch that there was one renegade spike of hair?
Alfalfa.
It just elevated from the mass. It was just bang. Also, his mom and his grandma hate him.
This was, okay, they're the ones that were seated... Let's put the camera sideways, 20 feet away, and both just turn to
Turn
the
your
side.
head. Body forward, head turned. Yeah.
But they're also in perfect frame with each other.
Mm-hmm.
They are perfectly situated.
Yes.
Interesting way to Skype.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they didn't
That's what me and Jody are doing right now.
Exactly. We're as far possible on the other side of the room looking at each other. I think that they hate Mohammed. They think he's a piece of shit. They're like, no, whatever you have to do to stay there because we don't want you back here because you're weird and you're lazy and we don't like
and grumpy.
you.
Didn't they call him grumpy?
Mm-hmm. He's like, no, I'm not grumpy. I know. Because I'm sure he has got a horrible temper and they have seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
Gross. And also they're
say,
like,
he punches holes in walls for sure, but then I remember Brad did that too, admittedly. And Brad's the nicest guy in the world.
He is nice. And
you guys go listen to that episode of Sopranos.
You have his favorite voice.
I mean, he said the nicest thing to me. That was truly the nicest
I
thing.
felt like you.
And I did not see that coming.
I felt like you in your Gino and Jasmine dream. Like I was
You were
just
stimming
watching
out?
you two. No,
Oh,
I
you
was
were
just like watching
us.
you two. The sparks between you two.
But you like did not see that coming, right? That was just
No.
so out of nowhere.
I
and
wanted
nice.
to do the Homer Simpson just
back
recede
into
the bushes and you know, you
It
two.
wasn't like a sexual moment. It was just him saying
No, it was
something
very sweet.
very, very nice to me.
It was very
that I
sweet.
never would have known. So that was nice.
What a nice guy. I will say, because we haven't talked about this, the funniest moment was right before we started recording. I was asking him about his son.
Yeah, God, you wouldn't stop talking about this fucking baby. I was like, okay, can we
the
get
same
off the
moment,
baby, please?
I go, oh, do you have a picture? And at that same second, you were going, oh, is that a fish on the wall behind you? It was just like two totally different,
Well, the Sopranos related.
like separated roof.
I was trying to steer the conversation to whether or not he's going to get another cat because his cat just passed away.
And I'm
That
like,
was what
oh
I
my
was
God, your
concerned about.
son. Like, are you guys going to have more kids?
Jody
and you're
just
like,
took over this whole fucking
and you also
conversation
said,
here.
God, I wouldn't have even remembered its name. You said that to him. Its name.
He didn't seem mad. He knows
He wasn't
who
mad
I
at all,
am.
but it was just... I mean,
like-
it was cute because it was you. And, like, no one said anything. We just, like, kept going with the conversation. But I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
God, that's so funny. You're like, God, Jody, you even know its name.
Yeah, check it out, though, guys. On TRP, I think it's on the $6 level, but he is like a fount of knowledge about
Yeah.
Sopranos, and it's one of my favorite episodes we've ever done. He was very, very funny too.
Okay, so anyway,
where are
even Mohammed.
Yep.
Okay, so they
Mohammed
get married, whatever. They're cute. Now you shoot over to Reddit. Highly suggest, even if you don't know how to use Reddit, like I don't, go and
you can
check out
search
that.
this.
Is it 90 Day Uncensored? Because there's like a 90 Day subreddit and a 90 Day Uncensored. I don't know the difference.
The unofficial pages on Reddit are so much more fun because you're allowed to like talk shit.
Oh, okay. I never post anything, but I just read.
Oh, I don't
scroll.
post anything. It's just if I'm searching something Sister Wives related, I'll just write
Sure.
blah 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 Reddit. Why do you only have nail polish on your two pinkies?
Oh, because the three in the middle, I got no chip, and yesterday they started to lift. And
you
so, like, it was
filled
just satisfying. I had a,
Yeah.
and it came off in one piece, and it was
know.
very satisfying.
You know I'm all
so
about
I'm
that life.
purposely keeping pinkies and thummies until it gets to that point so I can do it.
Well, you're kind of giving the impression you do cocaine though.
What? Is that a
Because
cocaine thing?
people who do cocaine, they'll like grow out their pinky nail like extra
Ew.
long.
No, they're not long. They're just still painted.
I know, but still, you're drawing attention to your pinky nail.
I'm waving them around all in her face, just rubbing it in.
Your nails and your Apple Watch. Yeah. So here we go. So text messages
Right.
on what? And it's WhatsApp, I think, right?
I'm not sure, but Mo has been texting this woman for a long time, like while the show was filming. And
Wait, now can this be determined as true though? Because couldn't
I think
anyone just put someone's name in and text
no,
themselves?
I think Reddit, the mods have to verify something or other. Somehow it's been verified that it's
100%
him.
him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know how they figure that stuff out. And I don't doubt it because the stuff he was saying in these text messages, he's like,
It reads
she's
as
in the other
Mohammed.
room. Oh, for sure. There's a lot of
I
like
cannot live
sideways
with her
kissy
no
faces.
more. Yeah.
Yep. She's in the other
hear him
room.
saying these things.
Her son was scared, so she's sleeping in there with him. I can't do this any longer. I go for walks. And I guess
His
during
bike
these
rides.
walks, she was like finding him and asking him, who are you talking to? And then whoever this woman was and why they came forward now, I don't know. But remember that picture where they were seen in the airport and people were like, oh, they're still
Yeah.
together? He was actually texting her in that picture. And she's like, I know he was texting me because he was saying we're in wherever it was, like Dallas, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, that was me that he was texting at that time. And that's how she knew. So, but Eve did find out that he's been texting her and who knows who else. But he just kept saying, no, I just need to like get my green card and then we can be together and then I'm going to leave.
Which to
She
be
wants
fair,
me to
he
pay
said-
half the
he
rent.
said in the show, though.
Yeah.
He pretty much said, he said several times in the show, I just want to get my papers, though, babe, babe. Yeah, she wants me to pay rent.
And then
I
she
can't
wants me to
wait
pay
be
half the
with
rent.
you.
And then this girl was like, well, that's not fair because her son is living there too. So if she's going to make you pay anything, it should only
Should
be
be
a
a
third
third.
of the rent.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
For
You
her
assholes.
autistic son, who also has Down's syndrome, he should be paying a third of the rent.
And
Good
then
God.
he got mad because what was it? Something like she only gave him $50 and he wanted more because he wanted to get like an iPad or an Apple Watch or something. And so he was all like pouty and upset. He's like, yeah,
sure, I can
she's
picture
so
it.
controlling. Oh God, it was like all this stuff, but you guys go and check it out because it's it is unbelievable. I knew
think
he was an
Eve
asshole, but
possibly deleted a bunch of pictures of the two of them on their Instagram.
really?
Possibly,
Oh God,
because
I
I do
hope
follow
so.
her on Instagram,
No.
and she's definitely not talking about him at all.
Ooh.
And she's doing a lot of those kind of cryptic things like "love yourself" type things.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no oh, there, I guess, yeah, there is one right there. She posted on July 26th, like, a engagement picture of the two of them.
July. Well, and I think this is all pretty recent, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
We'll go and
I
check
don't
it out
know,
because he's
dude.
an asshole. The only thing that's frustrating is that we're going to then see the reunion and they're going to probably been together because I think she said that she was still talking to him during the reunion taping. And that Eve maybe
Wait
didn't
for this
know at that
reunion.
point.
It's gonna be so. Who do you think they're gonna come hardest at? Bilal?
Yeah, I could see the guys getting on Bilal for being controlling and all that kind of stuff.
Emily, though.
I was going to say, I think they're going to hold out for Emily. And maybe Ari. Because Ari was very hypocritical about like, oh, your ex and, you know, your family, but then her ex-husband is buying her underwear and shit.
Do you want to talk about even Ari or Ari right now?
Yeah.
Binyam?
Sure.
Okay, because I'm so confused as to
Okay.
what the process is here of her getting ready. Because when she was getting her makeup done, her hair looked like someone had poured a bottle of like olive oil onto it. It was so greasy. But then at the wedding, it
Yeah.
looked good. So did she get her makeup done and then wash her hair?
Oh, I don't know. Good question.
Yeah, because
Her
it
hair,
was
though?
greasy as fuck.
Okay, her hair and headband, I'm 100% sure she got this look from what I've talked about before. When you were younger, you would get your plastic headband, you'd put it on, normal headband style, and then you kick up
Yeah, you
the
kick it
portion
up.
behind your ears, and it does that like hair over, and it's like, I'm a princess, I'm a tiara. That is exactly what her hair thing was. But then she just pushed it down over her forehead, which is a very interesting look. That seems kind of dated. That little headband
I don't care
thing.
about these two at all. I hope they like. I'm like, thank God they're married. Are they going to be on Happily Ever After now? God.
Oh, I
Where
can't
does it
take
end?
Ari. People do not like her, so I don't
No.
think so. I feel bad for him.
He's
I mean,
still
I think
on
he's-
there? Blasted a load in her.
I think he's a little kind of
Slow?
like a Asuelu. Yeah. Like maybe
Yeah,
just
like
didn't have
slightly.
opportunities. Like maybe he should have had an IEP when he was younger, but they don't have those possibly in Ethiopia or something. I don't know. That little boy though, my God, he was so cute. Their son is
Yeah.
adorable.
And it
And
was
he
nice
loves
that her
his
parents
dad.
like wore the garb. I thought that was nice. of
Oh,
them. I mean, I
Janice
guess
was
it's
wearing
bare
like little
minimum.
booties with slacks with the slits up the side. What was that?
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of Emily and Koby. Sorry, that's who I was more impressed that Emily's parents like dressed up in Koby's.
Oh, right.
Anyway, so great. So they get married, Ari and Binyam.
Yeah.
It's
I
gonna-
think
It's gonna be a
Binyam's
blissful marriage.
an amazing dad, and I honestly think that's the only reason she's staying with him because she doesn't really want to do the parenting part.
Right.
And
Yeah,
he's a good dad.
agreed.
All right, Emily and Koby. I am very attracted to him.
Yeah, me too. Well, of
He
course.
just seems like such a good guy, and he's giving her the benefit of the doubt when he should not be at all.
Oh,
She's a monster.
on Instagram, though.
He is?
He kind of is. He's very like
Leah's boyfriend?
No, he's like daily affirmations type situation, which I'm like, okay. I only followed you so that we could hear you talk shit about Emily.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're not giving that to me, then I'm unfollowing you.
Exactly. The way she was just walking around that wedding engagement party, whatever the hell that was, rehearsal dinner.
Wasn't that the rehearsal dinner? Yeah.
Ugh. She just is like, she seems to that type that just kind of like slaps their bare feet. Like they just kind of pad around someone's house. You know that type?
That's kind of how I walk, though. I'm really flat-footed.
No. Well, okay, no. It's like the
People always
comfort
comment on
level.
how hard I walk.
It's just like that comfort level. Like she would be that person that just comes in your house and just kind of, ugh. I hate her. And bullshit, you're drinking non-alcoholic beer. I don't believe it.
Shut up. She goes, I have a plan to drink some non-alcoholic beer. I'm like,
So
no
my
one would even
parents
notice,
don't
though.
know.
Like, no one's checking you on that.
Yeah, no one
maybe her
cares that
parents
much
have.
about you, Emily.
Yeah.
Or in any
And
other
he looked-
family, no one would give a fuck. No one would be paying attention to if you're drinking beer or not.
He looked so happy, too. And then she just takes him outside and just shits on him. I just don't know if, like, you really, like, want this. And I just don't know. What are we
He's
gonna
like,
do?
what do you think I'm doing here?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shoveling horse shit if I didn't want to be
While
like,
you
what
scream
the fuck?
in my face. Yeah.
Ugh. She just looks for any opportunity to burst his bubble.
Yeah, she just wants to fight. She wants to fight.
Mm-hmm. And the way she was looking in the window from outside, just like, just like this.
I feel like she's lisping even when she's silent.
Oh,
Like her face
it's like a
is making
lazy
a lisp.
tongue is just hanging
Yeah.
in there, like
Uh-huh.
low tone jaw, just like yeah. He was so happy though, and her family was very kind. The ones that were wearing some of the clothing, I'm not sure what you
I
call
was
the
surprised because they all seem so racist that I'm impressed that they actually like, went
I
there.
know. God, I wish I could go back in time and see parenting during, like, particularly her middle school years. I would love to see
Oh God.
what
She
that
definitely
looked
called
like.
her. She definitely called her mom a cunt several times.
But then would she cry and be like, the other kids are bullying me? But really, she's
No,
the
I
bitch.
don't. Yeah, well, she's definitely a bully.
But she's telling her parents, like, they just don't like me, and I don't know why.
No, because I don't think she'd ever admit that. I think she's always wanted to be the diva princess, and that's why her sister wasn't able to ever have enough self-confidence to learn how to do her hair.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, was that it for 90 Day?
Yeah.
Let's take a step over into Monday evening, Seeking Sister Wife. What a fucking shit show the show is becoming.
Yeah, and you know what? Okay, so when I was on vacation, when I had heat stroke, I was just puking all night.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you, the thing that got me through it, I don't know if Kara Berry listens to us at all, but she put out an episode at 3 a.m. or something. It popped up, and she did it with this girl named Raven.
Yes, I listened. Of course.
It was such a good episode. I just listened to it twice back to back as I was running back and forth to the bathroom because it was so good. So if we're going to try to cover, recap this, but if anyone wants a perfect recap of last week's episode, go listen to that because it was so funny.
Yeah. Kara's awesome. She is so funny.
Kara's hilarious.
Didn't we say we're going to try to do the season finale together? I'm pretty sure we did.
I mean, you and me said that. I don't know if Kara's
She's like,
yeah, maybe.
My mic just cut out. Couldn't hear anything or
I'll
say
check
anything.
my schedule.
Right. Okay, well, let's start with the Epps family. I'm really bored with them. Marcus.
They're just, and both women are just not charismatic at all. They both just seem so dead, right?
Yeah.
Because he's crushed their souls so much.
Taryn seems very phony and fake to me.
Yeah.
And she's a real controlling, manipulative sister wife.
No, I think he's broken them both down so much.
India seems miserable.
She is miserable.
And Janae. Well, in the first episode, so 2 weeks ago when Marcus made broccoli and was hacking away and chopping it up in a bowl in the sink. He's like, which part of the broccoli do you like? This part or the stem? Ha, funny joke, you fucking little tiny man.
He's so tiny. He's
So
so
little.
tiny. When they go to that restaurant together in this last episode and they walk out together, he's like at her shoulder. His head.
I know. What
Top of his
he's
head.
cooking in the kitchen, and the regular countertop height is like at his chest. It's at his nipple level. He's so little.
God. Kara bringing up careful, but Kara bringing up the fact that it's like a black people thing that they make salmon for every
Yeah, I
event.
didn't know this.
I would never have noticed, but that is true.
He makes
3 times
salmon.
this season, somebody's made salmon.
Nick
But
and
also
Marcus.
Nick also made.
And again, we did not say this, you guys.
I would
we
never
were
have
not
noticed
aware
that.
of this, but apparently it's a thing, according to Kara.
And it's funny every time she brings it up.
Yeah.
Like, every time I see salmon, I will always think of Kara.
And he is smacking away at that salmon when they are eating dinner too. You could hear every bite and chew. He's like, mwah, mwah, mwah. Okay, so Janae is like, yeah, you're wasting my time that I'm here when you're already married times 2. What were you gonna do?
Yeah.
If,
And then his talking head is like, damn it, I made the mistake of asking like how she is, and then she asked me how I was, and then I had to
yeah, I was
I
gonna
had
wait
to tell
until
her.
after dinner and after she was wasted,
to even
and I
say anything.
probably would roofie her allegedly until I would tell her anything. But I liked that Janae was like, yeah, I don't think this is my thing. Fast forward to this week's episode, and she's meeting him for lunch.
That's gotta be a
hell?
production thing. Because what happened with the other braces girl?
Well,
Braces girl
that's another thing.
Number 1.
The likelihood of finding 2 women with adult braces back to back. Nothing
He
wrong
was
with
looking
it.
on like adultbraces.com.
Well, he's got something.
God.
Do you
But
know
what
any
happened with the
adults with
first one,
braces?
though?
Now, again, no shame. Like, more
No,
power
of
to
course
you.
no
You're getting
shame.
your orthodontia taken care of. But have you ever, seen someone even at the grocery store
Definitely
with adult
not 2
braces,
people
and
that
then
I'm
you
dating
go
at
to
the
the
same
next
time.
place with adult braces?
Yeah.
It never happens.
Yeah, there's something there.
Okay, well, Janae's like, yeah, I like you and I together. I just don't know if I'm into the sister wife thing.
Which is the same thing as Brindle and the
Brenda?
other one. Yeah, Brenda. Like her sister wife. What's her name?
April.
one.
April.
Oh, God,
Another April.
That April clearly wants the same thing out of the dude. Just like, I don't really want to have a sister wife. Like, I'm just happy dating you, and then you can also do whatever you want on the side.
Yeah. Okay, so that's really all there is with the Epps family. India's not
Yeah,
going
the
to
girl's
have it.
considering it now.
She's not. She's out of there, please.
No, I mean, they get paid to be on the show, so I think production was like, hey,
Oh, good point.
come back. The other Braces girl isn't into this anymore.
Yeah. Braces 1 and braces 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's touch on the Davis family here. This is a very scary situation. It's unsettling
one with
watching
Danielle.
Nick, Danielle, April, and Jennifer.
Nick Daniel. Oh, yeah. Jennifer, again.
I don't like this.
So much Charlie Manson vibes on her.
Yeah, there's something
They all
very...
are. The way they were just all talking to each other on that cool picnic on, like, the sand.
Ugh.
On, like, the dirty-ass sand. They go and they just talk about, yeah, so how are we going to do this? Yeah, how are we going to get her? How are we gonna
And
do it?
Danielle just nods a lot and looks intently.
Danielle isn't even in this episode, though.
In the latest one?
I don't think so. Isn't it just him
Wait.
talking to... Oh,
No.
wait,
You're
she
talking
is.
about Sidian. Are you thinking
No.
Sidian?
No, I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Hot tub people.
Yeah, I guess my mind is just... All I see is Nick laying on the bed staring at April's boobs in a really creepy way and then rolling over to Jennifer and grabbing her hand.
As his eyes, like, melt down the side.
He's so ugly.
He's so busted.
Totally busted. He looks like he hasn't showered in 2 weeks, maybe. And then
Oh,
the
yeah,
fact
the
that
hot
he
tub.
sleeps with Danielle, gets up, goes and bangs it out with Jennifer in the kitchen, and then goes back to Danielle. Ew.
And you know he didn't even wash his pants.
No,
between
it
the
is
two girls.
sticky and gross, and Jennifer's down for it.
The women have shared DNA now.
This is disgusting.
And then the other weird thing is when they get in the car to go home, Jennifer's like, no, Aldra, I don't want you having to do anything. What the hell is this cult?
Oh, because he's sitting at the table looking at a book that he found at this weird-ass Airbnb at the end of the block. And he's like, I'm looking up biokinesis. You guys wouldn't get it. It's big words.
You ever heard that word? No, but when they get in the car, they make sure that he doesn't have to drive because they don't want him to do anything.
Because he's so little and slight, for safety reasons, he has to be restrained in the back seat.
Yeah.
He needs to be in a little car seat. Something is up with, I'm telling you, there's got to be some sort of government fraud situation that they're pulling over. That, like, he's disabled and that's why he can't have a job.
Okay, yeah.
They're his caretakers or something, or he can't work and that's why he can't sit in the front seat. He's got to sit in the back. There's something going on.
It's weird that he's in the back seat. Yeah.
Something's up.
I mean, Danielle, like, when Danielle got home, I wonder how much she had to really regroup her mind. Because when you're in it, you're in that vacuum with these people, and you're like, no, I'm having a good time. And then
I'm having flashbacks where I feel violated and used.
Exactly. And then she gets back home, and I wonder if it was, like, after a day or two, she was like, no, that was weird, though. It's kind of weird.
His head was between April's thighs, and then he spanked her. And then stuck it in
my
me.
upper thigh. Yeah.
And then Jennifer sat on him. And then
they all forced me to get into the bed where the two beds meet on the crack.
Oh my God. Again, why are they sleeping in the same bed? That's weird, you guys. I don't like this whole thing. In April, there's an evilness to her.
Yeah, I don't trust her at all. Again, she looks like Renee from my work. But,
yeah.
I mean, no.
Do you think Danielle exfoliated like Diana on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills when she got home? Just exfoliated. No, it's from the week before. To get Sutton off of her.
Oh God. I don't want to recap Beverly Hills.
Okay. All right. Well, they suck. This is scary. And I encourage the government to look into Nick and April and Jennifer, because there's some reason that he is not married to one of them. And it's not even as if he's going to marry Danielle, but they take his name. No. Something's fishy with
Danielle, they're immediately
literally something's fishy.
Yeah. Ew.
Do they just like pass yeast infections back and forth with each other?
Yes, of course, I'm sure.
They have to all smell down there. He's got to reek.
Oh, God, he's got to reek.
Gross. Hashtag clam bake. Ugh.
We're bringing it back.
All right. I mean, we got to save the Marifolds for last, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going
on there. All right,
there.
The Joneses, Sidian, Ariel, and Tasha. Well, Sidian and Ariel are just banging left and right in, I was going to say Thailand, but that's not right. Philippines. I mean, they're fine.
Yeah, this seems like it actually might work out.
Tasha's mom, I could hang out with her.
Oh, really? I think she's kind of an asshole.
Well, she's stating the truth. This is kind of weird and culty.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just that she really does see Tasha for who Tasha is. Like, yeah, you would be the type that would get into a cult.
Yeah.
Because you have this
she's
like keep sweet sort of thing. Yeah. So, but if they're happy and they're all willing participants in it, I don't think Sidian has that weird evil thing like Nick or Marcus has.
Sidian seems like a genuinely nice person.
Yeah, I just still don't understand what they want out of this.
I almost feel like Tasha wants it more than he does.
Yeah. Like if Tasha said, I don't want to do this, he'd probably be like, okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he respects women.
Yeah, weird.
May I kiss you? May I hold your hand, m'lady? Oh, I don't like it. He's very into swords. Like, he's got a sword collection.
He'll go to a Ren fair. Careful. Don't talk about Ren fair.
Yeah, you love Ren fairs. All right, there's really not much to talk about. Okay, the Foleys. Here we go. Brenda, Steve, and April. Okay, well, Brenda. Oh, God. She needs a friend.
This is what Kara said, too. Just like, this is embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing.
Kara said, like, I'm 35 years old. In no way am I begging a 22-year-old to be my friend.
Like, okay,
it's pathetic.
Her husband doesn't seem that into her. Like, I mean, Steve definitely needs to dumb
He's
things
on his way out with
down
her.
to speak to her about things, because Brenda's just kind of
She is just a lump on a log, hey?
her stepchildren don't like her at all. They want nothing to do with her.
Like,
I
"Alright,
have
bye."
a feeling Brenda's pee smells really bad, because every time I see her, she's got like a can of an energy drink. She's always like sipping on some sort of syrupy fluid.
Maybe she's trying to stay hydrated for all the sex she's having with
Ew. Oh, I get zero sexual vibes from her whatsoever.
Yeah, me too. I think this is I think. Do you also think she can see what's happening in front of her eyes? That like, oh, now I'm the ex-wife, and now he's changing me in for, he's exchanging me for the young.
I don't even think she sees it like that. I don't think she sees it that clearly. I think she's just like, I just want my sister wife to like be my friend, and like we go do things together too. Get a friend.
So the daughter says,
a friend. Yes.
Then get a friend.
Yeah.
Why don't you just get a friend?
In April, a 21-year-old is like, yeah, I don't know. I've never really thought about like being friends with Brenda. Yeah, because she's double your age, and that's weird.
It's weird. And you shouldn't be dating the guy either. What's his name?
Steve is twice her age. He's 42. She's 21.
He's way too old for you. Yeah.
Right. And also, like, what, Brenda, find a hobby. Get a hobby, as Jill Zarin, or I'm sorry, no, as Bethany would say. Get a hobby. Like, you have this much time in your life that you're like, I need to spend time with a 21-year-old girl.
Yeah, gotta.
Go join like, I feel like she'd be into scrapbooking.
Pottery class? I was going to say pottery class.
I don't know. I feel like that's, like, you're using your hands, but you need to talk to people. I don't mean
pottery making, but pottery painting. Where you just paint different things.
I think that gives her an excuse to be quiet, like she's really concentrating on it. Where scrapbooking, she would be like, can I borrow your Cupid punch?
Yeah.
You know, like, get together and they share papers and stuff like that.
She has a vision board. Yeah.
It's a sad situation.
Yeah, April's just in there. I think April also just wants to be on TV, and like that's going to be over the second the show's over.
Now, does Steve have a type? Just like mousy, bland women?
Yeah. I guess. We don't know what his ex-wife looked like, but...
Yeah. Okay, now I want to tiptoe into this whole speech therapy thing. I do not blame the children. There is nothing wrong with having like speech and language delays, or I think there's just like a speech delay, whatever it might be. Again, my daughter shed childhood apraxia of speech, so speech her whole life. I get it. My issue is that Steve and his wife did not get some sort of like intervention for their kids.
Agreed.
And I saw this somewhere that Steve's daughter said growing up, like kids would say stuff or adults would say stuff, and Steve told the kids, no, you just have an accent. Like, it's cute. You just have an accent. Oh. So they wouldn't hear anything.
That was the same thing as the ape woe girl.
Yes.
She said, oh, I just wanted people to think I was like Dutch or something.
Right. Where, again, like, I'm not faulting them. If you get to a point where, like, you can't physically, you know, get your mouth around those sounds, like, there's no harm. We're not judging the kids. But when you have a parent that is just, like, too lazy to do anything about it,
right?
Then I feel like, kids, yeah. It's sad. Yeah, will that cost them jobs or whatever? Not that it should, but do you guys know what I'm saying? Like, it's really just a sad situation. And I get it. It's a lot of work for parents and the kids, too. Like, I have people in and out of my house twice a week, every single week for years and years, and bringing your kids here and there. Like, it's a commitment, but you do it because you love your kid.
Yeah, it's definitely absent.
Yeah. And the fact that he thinks that they're just being disrespectful. Yeah. It's just disrespect. And she just doesn't know. Just because she says it doesn't mean it's true.
She sees everything. She experienced watching her mother go through this heartbreak.
And Brenda's a bitch too, because after all that, after she saw her stepdaughter break down and be so withdrawn, and look at especially his daughter, you could tell she is going through something. Like, have a little bit of empathy for her. She's angry or depressed or something. She's going through something. So maybe reach out and not be judgmental and disrespectful to her.
She was mean to me.
Yeah, but Brenda says in the car, I mean, I'm just not going to, like, argue with a teenager. Okay, well, it's not a teenager. It's your daughter.
Yeah.
Not just a teenager, you bitch. I can't imagine being a parent and hearing your spouse talk about your kid that way. Well, I'm just not going to argue with a teenager. Ugh, hate her. And hate him. Okay, DeBelza DeBall, Merfields. Ooh, okay.
Danielle's losing her grip on this situation, huh?
She's losing it. God. Okay, so she meets with her brother and her brother's wife. I could have sworn that Samantha was Garrick's sister because Garrick and Samantha have the exact same face.
She looks like Martin Short.
Yeah, Ed Grimley. They have the exact same face, same shape and everything. You don't see it? Oh,
I can't picture it.
Well, she looks just like Garrick, so Danielle and her brother have a type, and it's Garrick-ish. But although I actually like Samantha.
Yeah.
And Sam. Because they're like, so, what are you going to do if she doesn't come here? So you're still doing this. Uh-huh. We love you.
The argument here is that, like, well, I just want to start having kids and I want to start having babies now. You can blast a load on her whatever you want. Just, like, he doesn't want to wear condoms, which is also fine. Have Bert go on birth control for 3 months until she gets here. And you can blast all the loads you want in her.
Or save a bunch of sperm, like free some sperm. If you could afford to be flying down to Mexico and Brazil and wherever to meet her and stay at these Airbnbs and fly out to meet Leah and buy mustard for your chicken and all that, I'm sure you got a couple thousand that you could free some sperm for her.
Also, the amount of times this man cries.
Oh my God. And the amount of sweaters that he has that lace up.
Yeah, that sweater he's wearing in this last season.
Remember, he had a shirt last season that he wore in the last episode that had little laces up here.
Oh, yeah, he got the full laces going.
Bert.
Love. We just need to discuss. And their conversations make no sense.
No.
Like, they don't know. And every time Bert would say something and then they'd read it, they'd go, oh yes. Yeah, yes. They're talking to her like she's like 10 years old.
And the two phones with the app, they're like, oh, hold on, can you hear me now?
God.
Oh, hold on.
That was hilarious. Wait. And then Bert just changes everything she says, because first she says, well, we're going to have to sit down with my mother and we need to have a conversation. And then it just changes to, yeah, we're excited to see you.
My mom can't wait to meet you. She's so supportive of all of this. Can't wait to fly out to the U.S. No, God.
Do you think she's just going to tell them, like, it's not happening?
Well, she needs to. Like,
why?
Well, first of all, so that they don't fly down there. It's going to be harder to tell them in person than tell them over the phone because you can just not answer from there on out. Right?
Oh, she needs to tell them. I thought you meant she needs to stay with them.
Oh, God, no. Just tell them, like,
you know, she's into it.
I don't think I want to go live there.
Yeah. And it was really, once you guys started dating that other woman who Garrick was clearly terrified of, I had a bad taste in my mouth about it. So
I realized I don't know if, like, I'm cool with Danielle because I'm younger and I think I'm hotter than her. But I don't know about bringing someone else in.
Right.
Because I don't want to experience jealousy. Like, I'm not jealous of Danielle, but I'll be jealous of someone else.
Because Danielle's such a broken person. Oh, the way Danielle waffles her way through talking to people about this and trying to pretend like she's okay with it. It's like, the most devastating thing would be that Bert says not. Or do you think it's just that Danielle is like, well, he's going to try to court another wife no matter what, but she's at least comfortable with Bert, so she doesn't want to go through all this again? I mean, do you also know that she's 32, Danielle?
Danielle's only 32?
32.
No.
Yep. Because I remember, like, my eyes going, like, whoa, when I saw it on, like, written.
Okay. I thought she was, like, 39, 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
32.
How old is Bert?
I might be wrong, but I'm almost... I
think, like, Bert might be 32. Okay, remember when we did like a 10 things you don't know about Danielle and Garrick?
That was hilarious. Uh-huh.
It was like, he likes to wear sneakers when it's warm outside. It's like the stupidest shit.
He ran track in high school. Oh, wait. Okay, she was born on August 8th, 1987. So maybe not. 34. Okay, 34.
Oh, I still thought she was older than that. I think Bert is like 32, 29, 30, 30 something.
I think she was in her 20s. I don't know. It's the timeline's all over the place.
Okay, listen. Well, the fact that he's like, well, yeah, I mean, even though she's not here, we're still family. So, like, she can have kids down there, and I'll fly back and forth. No, they did get married in Mexico. They're just not married.
They did get fully married.
Yeah, but I think they're just not married here. Remember they had like some sort of ceremony? So that they could probably have sex.
Yeah, well, exactly.
This is just all a really bad idea. And the fact that Danielle's just now catching on to this, like, well, he might spend time with her instead of time with us. Yeah. Remember how he has his own bedroom?
That's what her plan is.
Right. This is a horrible idea.
Bert sucks. Fuck you, Roberta.
Total bitch.
She's a terrible person.
This like, oh, the email. Tee-hee-hee. I don't know what you're saying.
And he cries during this conversation. God,
she's
bitch,
not that great. What do you see in Bert?
No.
They cannot be having that deep of discussions about anything.
Well, we're watching that. They can't.
But I think they're in this deep. They've spent so much money and so much time that they're like, well,
yeah.
I mean, it's better than starting all over. We already bought a full-size mattress for her in our room that we're going to share.
Oh, my God. Yeah,
we can't go back now.
The apps they're using don't even work well enough to even have a real conversation. It's just the sex, I guess.
Can't be that good.
She got her braces off, too.
She did? How do you know?
I think they're gone in this video chat.
Oh, I remember her having her mask on.
Oh, I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm sure Marcus could hook Garrick up with someone with braces.
Yeah,
he has a real keen ability to find them. Ooh, so what do you think is going to happen? They're going to go down to Brazil. Bert's going to come over.
What if he knocks her up? That would be the most devastating thing. And then she says, no, I don't want to go. And then he decides to stay in Brazil.
Yeah. And then he's going to be like, well, I need to stay down here for a couple months because she's a new mom and she needs help.
So 100% was going to happen. I think that's been probably the underlying plan this whole time.
And he's going to cut his time.
Wait because of COVID. Mm-hmm.
He's going to say, why don't I just build a house down here? And when I come down, the whole family can come down too. Right. And they'll just do like something part-time. Will happen and, yeah. Because she's not going to want to leave her mom. That's what it is. She's got a blood pressure appointment. Pretty sure you don't. Well, actually, I know you don't need an appointment for blood pressure because you can buy a cuff on Amazon and do it at home.
Go to CVS and do it for free. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, do we talk about all our couples here?
Yeah.
Well, what do we have coming up this week on Patreon? You guys are missing out. And hey, it's beginning of the month. If you're going to sign up, now's the time to do it. You have a whole back catalog on We Love to Hate TV of, oh man, we've done so much over there. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, we're recapping now. We're recapping vintage episodes of Sister Wives. We've done marriage boot camps. What else?
Oh, yeah, those were fun.
Oh, lots.
MTV True Life stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go check that out.
Just check that out. And we're on Total Request Pod this week. We're rounding out our week of series finale month. Mm-hmm. And so we're doing Seinfeld with Nick Kachanov, and as a guest, the Seinfeld finale, very controversial. And then we're doing the Office finale with Joan Malone.
The infamous Joan.
Yeah, that should be this week, but if not, we have to push it to next week.
Yeah, because Joan has a life.
Yeah, sorry. And we're all in totally different time zones.
Yeah.
But anyway,
stay tuned.
Come and support us over there.
Yeah, check the links in the show notes for our Facebook group. Just gotta answer a little question so we know you're not a bot.
Yes, join our Facebook group. It's called We Love to Hate TV, I guess, on Facebook. Or We Love to Hate Everything. You'll find it.
Yeah, it's in the show notes.
We'll let you in.
And until next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.